Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the brushstrokes activities. Some of you did great on this and you understood the topic, but some of you struggled. So I wanted to give those of you who maybe struggled a little bit with the concept a chance to remediate and get the concept and maybe even earn some points back on that first formative grade. Now, just to be clear, normally I don't do redos on formative grades. Formative grades are meant to show me more what you do and don't understand so that I can then address those issues in the classroom. But since it's the first grade of the year and we're all kind of getting to know each other, I thought I'd give you a chance to earn some points back. And I do think that this skill itself, pitchforking and using those participial phrases to layer those in that pitchfork style and to build images is a real important skill. So I'm happy to let you redo and grow. So, some of you, I think, misunderstood the idea of what pitchforking is. So, pitchforking is the layering of two to three phrases. It could be anything, it could be nouns, verbs, but we're working with participial phrases, okay? So you would need to layer your participial phrases all together, okay? So if you look at this original sentence here, so we'll back up and we'll just kind of start over with the lesson. So participial phrases begin with an ing verb, and they will also have some type of object, like winning over the teacher. So winning over the teacher is the participial phrase, winning is the participle, and over the teacher is the object, okay? So a participle alone, an ing verb functioning as an adjective is fine, but what I want you to see also is that you can add imagery through using the phrase. So one word participles are fine and they can be very helpful, but when you extend into participial phrases, what you're doing is you're layering image, which is going to really increase that detail. Okay. So here's an original sentence, and we've already talked about this in class. The diamond-scaled snakes attacked their prey. Now, what I want you to see in the revised sentence is how the pieces are layered. Do you see how, okay, so here's a one-word participle. Hissing, slithering, and coiling. But notice I've put them together. I haven't put different types of words in front of them. I'm just using the participle, okay? So if I use it as a one word, I definitely want to try to use three of them, not just two. Okay. And I want to put them together, not disperse them throughout the sentence. Hissing, slithering, and coiling, the diamond-scaled snakes attacked their prey. Now here in the second one, when we've integrated the phrases, now you can see here this person uses two phrases, not three, and that's fine. You could do that. But if you want to add the third, you're going to add another image. And I'm going to show you what some successful sentences looked like from the activity we did in class. Flicking their forked red tongues and coiling their cold bodies, the diamond-scaled snakes attacked their prey. Now, what I want you to really clue in on is notice these participial phrases. They are participial phrases because they begin with a participle, okay? It's just like a prepositional phrase. You know, those begin with prepositions. That's how we know we have a prepositional phrase. So you can't put a different type of word. One thing people did a lot of is they would put an adverb in front, like slowly flicking their fork, that kind of thing. And right now what I want you doing is just doing that participial phrase. Another thing people were doing were adding dependent clause words like while or as in front of the participle. And then what happens is you change it completely because there are other types of phrases that use ing verbs, but they function as nouns. And so you have to be really careful in that process, because then what you're doing is you're kind of changing the way everything's functioning, and you're not using participial phrases anymore. You're using something different. Also notice too, the other thing that a lot of people kind of misunderstood is you have to layer them together. Notice I have them two together here. Don't put one in the beginning, then have the sentence, then one at the end. That's not pitchforking. Pitchforking is kind of putting them together, three on top of each other or two right beside each other, not one in the beginning, then the main clause, then one at the end. A lot of people did that too. And a lot of people were just using lots of ing words, but sometimes you weren't using it as adjectives. Your ing word was actually part of a verb phrase, and it was the verb in the sentence. So you have to be thoughtful when you're writing these to show me that you understand what a participial phrase is. So you were asked to rewrite number 2, 3, 4, and 5. The Olympic long jumper thrust the weight of his whole body forward. The clown smiled. The rhino looked for freedom, and I glanced at my clock. So let's look at a successful series of answers. So here's the first one for the clown. The Olympic long jumper. The Olympic long jumper thrust the weight of his whole body forward, feeling the wind on his face, jumping with all his might, and landing without hesitation. So notice, what do I have? But I have three participial phrases. They're together. I'm not putting different types of words in front of those. And that kind of flow of them being together helps develop an image. Another hint is you can put the most intense participial phrase with the most intense image at the end, so it kind of climaxes to something. Here's the clown one. The clown smiled, feeling the happiness of the crowd and hearing the laughter as it filled the room. So here this person chose to use 2, not 3, but it works. Here this person chose to use 3 altogether, and notice the image that happens. The rhino looked for freedom, ramming into the fence, toppling down the barricade, and darting into the open air. I glanced at my clock, and we do need to set this off with a comma, hoping the time would tick faster, waiting for the bell to ring, wishing I could just go home. So notice what this student has done. The student really understands what a participial phrase is, how to layer it using the pitchforking strategy, and then ultimately what's happening is these sentences are becoming varied. We're not just staying in a short kind of simple space. We're adding these elements so that we paint almost pictures for the mind of the reader. Well, I do hope this tutorial has helped. So for your makeup work, what I want you to do is 6 and 7. Actually, you know what? Scratch that. I'll give you some sentences for makeup in the Dropbox for this. Okay, thank you so much.